Hello everyone, and welcome to another book review. This time I'm going to be reviewing The Martian by Andy Weir. As you can probably tell, based on my book, I have the movie cover version of the book. This has recently been made into a movie. It stars Matt Damon. The movie's great. I loved it. Book's great. I love the book too. I just finished reading this book today, and I was like, no, I need to review it. I absolutely loved this book. It was funny, it was witty, it was sci-fi done in the best way possible, in my opinion, in that Andy Weir tried to write a story that could plausibly actually happen, and he managed to do that. Now, I'm not a physicist, so I don't know if it's completely possible, but from my knowledge of the, basic sciences, nothing in the book is so far-fetched that it wouldn't, make sense to be there. There wasn't anything that stood out as like, well, that wouldn't happen. A lot of us think that travel to Mars is impossible, but I think we're going to see it happen in our lifetimes. I really do, at least hopefully in my lifetime. But The Martian is all about a man, if you don't know the premise, who is a part of a mission to Mars. They're going there to collect samples and stuff. He's part of the third mission to Mars that the Earth has had at this point. And they have to abort the mission due to a storm, and he is left behind due to an unfortunate accident. And so he either has to sit down and decide that he's going to die on Mars and run out of food, or, just kind of implode. But he decides that he's not going to do that. He decides, no, I'm going to do everything I can to survive, and NASA's freaking out once they figure out he's alive, which takes a while, but they figure it out. And it's all about how he must overcome all these different problems just for the hope of surviving until he can be rescued. And I think that this book really stood out to me, not just because I love when science fiction is written in a way that's possible, but because it's also just something new to think about. Like, this man, now this is not based on a true story, but this man was actually alone on a planet. He had a whole planet to himself. And it wasn't like being the last man on Earth where you can go outside and you're fine. Like, if he stepped outside, he'd die if he didn't have a spacesuit on. So that was just something it's impossible really to fathom what that would feel like. But I think Andy Weir did a pretty good job at trying to figure out what that would feel like. I think, he was maybe a little more optimistic than I would be. I feel if I was placed in that, I hate being alone. I would not deal well with being the only person on Mars. But I also love this book because it was constantly making me laugh. Mark Watney is the main character, and he deals with stuff by making jokes, as far as I can tell. Which, it's not an uncommon mechanism for dealing with stuff. And he's certainly dealing with stuff in this book, but I really liked it because it's very serious on the one side, but it's not so serious that you feel like you get stuck in the science and in the, oh god, what's going on? Mark Watney is a very relatable character. He's a jokester. He's a smart mouth. He really just doesn't want to die. When he finally got back in contact with NASA, one of the things he said was looking forward to not dying. And it's that's obviously coping. He's freaking out because he's like, oh my god, I might die. But he makes a joke about it. And there are just so many countless things in this book that are like that. And I absolutely loved every single page of it. I read it in less than a week. And I've been pretty busy this last week doing stuff. I just tore through it. This version of the book is about 430 pages. This is a mass market paperback, so some, the regular paperback version is probably fewer pages, but it's the same number of words. And I would recommend it to anybody that likes sci-fi, anybody that likes, I suppose you could call it realistic fiction. If you like those, I love both of those. I would highly recommend this book to you if you are interested in space travel, in Mars itself, in just, the possibility of travel to Mars. If anything in there is a topic of interest for you, I would highly recommend this book. I would say that, it takes a certain amount of scientific knowledge to read it well, but I don't think you need to be well-versed in the sciences to understand it. There will definitely be things that you'll need to look up, or either just accept that you don't really understand if you don't have a background in, I would say, chemistry and physics. But it's really not necessary to read the book as a whole in any way. It just helps. It's just one of those things. And, you can always Google it anyway, right? Anyway, that's going to do it for this book review. I would definitely say everybody go out there, read The Martian. It's great. 2 thumbs up. Most definitely. Absolutely loved it. And as always, I'm the Purple Pegasus, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!